Okay.
This is it, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to introduce our guest. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Dan Crosier.
Yay!
Not to be confused with Dan Crosier.
Or,
right.
What was our other friend?
Oh, Daniel Crosier.
Daniel Crosier.
Yeah, that's it.
Or the Crosier.
Of the Crosiers, he's probably the best. And
I'm sure my parents watch this, so let's not say that. Yeah, they're vindictive, and Thanksgiving's coming.
It's tough being
it's
tough when your parents can't tell you that you're their favorite child when you're the only child. It's tough.
Well, that's true. That's almost your situation, but we won't talk about Joe. Hey, so hello.
Yes. We just go right in.
We just go right into it.
There's no fanfare.
So
we're the ones you want to see.
So welcome to COFOH Live Undead. This is my guest, the Enigma.
Oh, it's so faux pas.
I know, isn't it? Oh, it's warm and fuzzy, but I know you prefer to be isolated in a box. Anyway, COFOH. That's the Colorado Festival of Horror. And for those of you that don't know, we're just ramping up to our first year event. That'll be next September 11th to the 13th, 2020. And here tonight, we're at Mutiny Information Cafe.
Yes.
And
totally wheelchair friendly because we're ramping up.
Totally wheelchair friendly. Yeah. We're ramping up not only with ramps, but with coffee.
Yes. Oh yeah. I don't know if you know, but the world's best coffee actually. See, Mutiny Information Cafe and the world's best coffee. I mean, when you say them in the same sentence together, it's like being redundant.
True, but it's also the world's most dangerous bookstore.
Right.
So revolutions get started with coffee and knowledge at your fingertips.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your fingertips. Yes, that reminds me of a joke. Let's go on.
Yes, let's go.
Okay. Hey, what kind of rating are you getting on this? Is this? Can we go X, triple X?
Yeah, we can definitely go X on this.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you sworn on this?
I have sworn. I do have an interview tomorrow with a local business, which I can't do that with.
Oh, right.
But at least I won't have you there to X it up.
Yeah, we're gonna X this up.
Yeah.
Right.
So totally Xing.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Okay.
Enigma, thanks for coming on.
Oh, of course.
You are currently at Elitch Gardens performing till the beginning of November, right? Through Halloween.
I think I have oh my gosh, look at that. Check that out.
Ooh.
Yes, it's
a little bit closer, please.
Postcard. You can get one of these postcards at Elitch Gardens after my show.
So shiny.
Send one to Grandma.
Then, you'll put your phone number on there.
Yep. And
so that's
Grandma
good.
Needs love. She'll be happy you thought of her and disgruntled you sent it. Yes. Gardens.
That's always nice. Oh, look, Brett Smith has joined us online.
Brett, good to have you.
Thanks for joining us. We've got a massive audience tonight. How you doing, Neil? Oh, devil fingers. That means amazing. Neil's
you gotta have the sound.
Yeah, he's absolutely amazing. He's in the band. What is the band?
Stone Temple Pilots.
That's right, Planes Mistaken for Stars, and he's traveled around with Woven Hand too. So two absolutely remarkable bands.
This sounds more like a password than a name, but all
right. Safe word.
We should put some numbers in there, and it's like that's a password.
Nice. So anyway, Enigma,
yes.
You're at Elitch Gardens all month.
Yes, till November 2nd. So the last weekend there, that November 2nd weekend, it's going to be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Otherwise, it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you guys see to believe it. Every it's quite an event. I do 4 shows every night, and during the intermissions in between, I take photos with people and hand out little postcards and just prep my next show. So it's worth it to come on down. There's so much to see there, and it's really great because theme parks always kind of have that reminisce of it's almost like a setup for horror right there, and then you throw in all these amazing cast of all-stars, clowns and people with all kinds of funny makeup on. stitches and things and such. And they're all there for one reason and one reason only, to entertain you. So it's just a huge cast of people, all there to entertain you. They have different mazes and stuff like that that you can go through, and you can just hang out. And it's kind of romantic too, like you can find a little secluded spot and hold hands, or I don't know what people do. Okay. Not
So,
yet.
And my girlfriend just started watching too. So, anyway.
You don't want to know what we were doing before this podcast. Anyway.
Drinking coffee. That's all we were
That's
doing.
what we were doing.
Yeah.
Here at Mutiny
Well, he was having
Information
candy
Cafe.
too. Wasn't Jolly Ranchers. It's the good stuff.
This is Denver.
Yeah,
we
that's
have
right.
adult candy here. It's
Adult
not just
candy
for
is
kids.
welcome. It's nice.
Totally fine.
Well, and these days you're not living in Denver.
No,
You were at one point,
I
right?
was. I
Or
really
more,
give it a shot. I
really.
really give it a shot. Yeah, and I mean, I'm back and forth and here and there, and I get around. But I'll probably try to spend a little bit more time in Denver as we go along here. But right now, the program is, just I got the Villain Arts shows after Elitch Gardens, and a few other shows here and there. I was at the X Fest 2 last year.
Okay.
We'll be interested. We're all probably waiting with bated breath to find out if I'm going to be at the show this year.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Heads up,
I'm not
X-Fest.
going to confirm or deny,
You
because
should probably confirm this.
it's just like the UFOs, can't confirm or deny. Anyway, yes. So there's
Everybody
there's
needs friends.
stuff. So if you're looking at www.theenigmalive.com, that's where you'll find my schedule. And when I'm gone, then we'll just add a D. The Enigma lived. I know. Just planning ahead.
Well, as we talked before, blue doesn't crack. So
No.
you seem to be relatively eternal.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of like the Phantom, in that. Well, okay, no, I'm not like a Phantom.
No, you're not like a phantom.
Not at all. Okay.
Maybe a fart in the wind.
Whoa. No, but how he had like somebody else take his place, kind of like Elvis having a whole bunch of people take his place.
Oh yeah,
Now
yeah.
he's gone.
Yeah.
He's got all these people.
When I look at you,
lookalikes
I
and
do think Bruce Campbell.
Pretty soon, if I'm gone, then we'll be, I'm sure that you'll probably want
We'll do an
continue
Andy
to work.
Kaufman thing and keep impersonating you.
to work.
It's going to be a lot of marker.
I hope you can hear both of us at the same time, because we're going to talk over ourselves. And
Pretty
each
much.
other all
That's,
show long.
that's usually how we are. We go back a few years, 1 or 10, something like that.
I'm not sure. When was that? When was
It was
that?
about
When
2010.
What was his?
So-
What was his name's birthday?
What's his name? Oh yeah. Well, we were brought together by our friend Jeremy Atkins.
Yes, Jeremy Atkins. that's
So
right.
if you're watching Jeremy, hi. I
Jeremy.
think he's married now and has kids.
Yeah, he's moved on. He's
Yeah.
not in high school like we are.
Yeah, we're still definitely there. Some of
Yeah.
us still have the equivalencies of a
Mhm.
10-year-old in terms
Yeah.
of knowledge. And,
Yeah, which is weird for a 10-year-old to go
vocabulary.
to high school, but it happens sometimes.
But so Enigma, what kind of things are you performing and doing? What's your stage show? Because I know you've changed it over the last couple of years.
Okay, yeah. So, I was with that William Morris Agency show, and I was playing, just the silent character and the silent monster, and then
That was Slug, right?
well, no,
Was it
okay,
those days?
no, it was that. Well, yeah, okay, and then I got all the tattoos and I became the Enigma. So that was
Excellent.
just kind of like a little transition period there. But so then after I left that show, then I wrote a musical and performed that, which nobody was ready for, of course. And so that failed miserably, but it was.
We're gonna
fun
have to
doing it.
return to that because
Oh my
that's something I just found out. I want to see that. I
Oh
want to
my
see
gosh.
Enigma's music.
Oh my gosh! And
Yes.
that's anyway. And then I was like, okay, fine. So we'll strap guitars to our body to be musicians and do this thing. So I, put out Human Marvels, and that toured, and I toured with people, and then by myself, and then I ended up doing the show as a comedy show, and I did that with a partner, and then on my own, and then now recently I've changed the whole show, threw it all away to do characterizations, like costumes and stuff like that, because I mean, thinking rationally, I mean, I can't change my props so much. Can't really change the background because I'm just wherever I'm at. I can, paint banners and things, but I can wear costumes, and then all of a sudden, maybe I'll generate some more interest in the show. And then, I had all these characters and all what they wanted to say, which was a lot, and audience wasn't, they're not that lenient, so had to kind of shorten it up. And then now for Elitch Gardens, it's just kind of a combination of the comedy show and the theater show combined, one kind of thing. And I like it. It's got a certain type of magic to it, and it just opens it up for more things. I kind of had to destroy the show in order to rebuild it to make it more flexible and more stimulating for myself and for the audience who's seen it many times, I'm sure.
But with the working man acts, the stunts that you perform,
yes.
what are you doing on stage?
Okay, so the stunts are, I mean, a lot of it's the basic kind of stuff. I don't usually do things that are on the ground. Everything usually has to be from the waist up. That way you play a club or anything. Consistency is kind of important, if you're trying to make something perfect every time and try to sing the song, as it were. Because once you know the song, then you can make music with it. Once you know those notes, if you don't even know the notes, then how do you make music out of that, right? So, you tighten it down and yeah, the stunts are all like waist up pretty much, except for picking up the chainsaw with hooks put through my face, and then I mean, so it's just, tradition with a twist, sword swallowing. Pounding spikes in my skull, that kind of, just kind of fun, crazy danger show. Yeah.
Danger shows are absolutely remarkable, but it kind of comes from that tradition of sideshow, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, we're taking from the time capsule 1840s and 1950s circus sideshows across the country and in your neighborhood. Back in the day, before television, we had newspapers. You want to know what's going on that farmhouse down there, that farmhouse down there, you go see.
It's my farmhouse.
You go see the circus. Because that's your information. You know what I mean? Because there wasn't newspapers or anything.
Yeah.
And then, the older people see Elvis and Nash Ray, and the kids see the clowns and the balloons. And there were those kids come in all shapes and sizes, the big ugly ones. They want to see the strange, the bizarre.
Round is a shape?
Yeah, round is definitely a shape. And so then they go see that sideshow, and in the sideshow you see the natural one wonders, and of course the human marvels, so said altered cows conditioner bodies do weird, strange, amazing things. So that's kind of like what I do. It's just that golden age of sideshow, back in the day, the circuses would go on, and the sideshows would be following around the circuses. But at a certain point, circuses weren't making the money, and so sideshows basically were carrying a circus with them in a way, because their money was still going on, because everybody likes weird, strange, bizarre things, and that's what I sell.
Yeah.
I'm a salesman, and even after 20 years, a vacuum cleaner salesman can still sell something that sucks, so it's it. But it's
some of those have a blow option.
Well, it's an anachronism what I do. It's a
inaccurate.
You're looking. Well, it's an anachronism. I
know. Sometimes that's inaccurate.
All right. So anyway, but yes, it's a period thing, a period piece.
Oh.
Yes, it's theater. I try to. I'm not there to be your friend and get you to clap all day, like some of these performers that they're out there in the streets and they do. So, and what they do is great. Don't get me wrong, but it might take a half hour to see it. But in the meantime, they're just getting everybody to clap their hands together. But I'm not that guy who smiles and waves. I'm the guy that's the try to make you think. Try to engage you on a kind of a more primordial level. Than just
yeah. So that's
I'm not circus. I'm sideshow. In the circus, you'd have the juggler. In the circus, you'd have people working all day. They wake up early in the morning. They work out, they get all in shape and everything to do these amazing feats of physical prowess. But sideshow is more like you roll out of the bed at noon and say, "Hey kid, you want to see something weird?" That's sideshow. So it's just by definition a different thing. All right, so the audience is building up. Right.
Yeah, we've got one more than Neil.
Yes.
Where's Brett?
He's at a concert.
Well, good, as he should be. Yeah, well, you're at a better place. We serve coffee here. Here at Mutiny Cafe. Plug.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So you talked a little bit about what kind of response you want to get out of your audience.
Yes.
One that's more thought provoking and
Yes.
of that nature. When I go and see your shows,
Right.
I absolutely love. I've seen your shows so many times
Right.
that I now watch the audience when you're going to go do something.
Okay.
So specifically,
Right.
when you do the tubes.
Yes.
It is absolutely remarkable to watch the audience on that because
Oh, yeah.
we've got people that just kind of double over and cringe and convulse and make interesting bodily sounds.
I mean,
direct
sometimes you get a falling ovation. People just,
when they hit the floor, that's their clap.
and sometimes you get that chain reaction. It's a chain reaction where one person coils and then the next person. But yes, what I do is because it's science, and
After your shows, I'm curious, do you engage in a lot of conversation on what you're doing on stage and what some of these characterizations, I can't talk, actually mean and some of the physicality that goes into it?
Yeah, I'm a little restricted once again because
Okay.
my audience doesn't have the patience or time for that.
Okay.
So I just kind of have to plow through pretty quickly what I'm doing. It's I think what it has a place. I think the place is more like on a DVD or in a movie or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just doing it at a tattoo convention. They're not necessarily there just to see me, although some people do tell me that. But so they wander around and they their friends getting tattooed or this or that, and so they'll go see that or do that. And then Eilish Gardens, there's a number of things to see too. But I do keep an audience for
Mm-hmm.
a short time and
Have some coffee.
Some coffee.
Get a little pick me up.
Damn.
Have some coffee
Must be that
from Mutiny.
almond milk. It's really good.
Mine's just straight black. That's how I like
I
it.
got the chai.
Oh my.
It's very fancy. Yes.
Schmancy.
I mean, it's good. I think that what needs to happen is that I need to put these characters in some sort of or maybe I'm not playing the characters. Maybe other people are, and I just put their roles in a movie or something like that. Or
Sure.
who knows? Maybe I release a DVD of just me doing these characterizations. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't have a place necessarily for them yet, but they're there and they want to be heard. And this is actually Hellbilly Bill's vest. So
And that's
Hellbilly
one of your
Bill's-
characters.
yes, he's probably the wildest, craziest character in the show.
Mhm.
He's kind of dangerous, but I try to keep him reeled in. But he does his own thing. He's his own. When you're a performer of like theater or something, you basically are channeling these characters, and I try to be iconic and let them. I kind of let them have their own reign as much as I can.
Yeah.
They know the job. They're there too because they know that we need to do it and do it right. But
Yeah.
they're crazy.
Yeah, they're employees like anybody
Sanity
else.
just slows up the work.
Got a W-2 and
Yeah,
everything.
I mean, it's not a requirement. Shoot, they can't lock us all. They don't have enough keys. I know I've been keeping some in my pocket here. Shh. What? Oh, sorry. What was I talking about? Oh, yes.
So, so with this, now going back a few years, can you
Yes.
describe, kind of what your childhood was like and how it kind of started? Because you were always, even as a kid, not only creative and an artist, but a performer too.
Yes.
Because you had a musical background. But what was it that specifically made you go into, or compelled you to go into, performing this type of performance, sideshow?
Yeah. And in fact, I was actually interviewed by Willie B over there.
Oh, excellent. Good.
And Willie B was asking these kind of questions too, all about the why and some of the
And
how.
that's usually what it is. Like, why?
Yes, and the reason is pretty simple. My mom wanted to be a music teacher, and her father wouldn't let her, and so then my brother and I ended up with all these music lessons. 6 years old, tap, ballet, and piano, and and then later singing lessons, and and then flute lessons, and then I spent most of my life in the backseat of a car, going back and forth to private lessons, complex casseroles, exchanging dreams of boundless grandeur for realities of very little worth, and then and so then I was in a magic club too. It's just this local thing, and a friend was helping me out with magic, and I stumbled upon a little book that said, "Oh, you can swallow swords and eat fire and stuff." I was like, "There it is, man. That was it. That was my chance for real magic in a world that seems a little gray at times. You know what I mean?
Something that is a delusion.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't a delusion.
Or sleight of hand.
Because when everyone believes one thing and you show them another, the truth appears as magic. So you got that going for you, which is nice. So yeah,
it's like a kangaroo mouse.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, it's unbelievable, but there it is, right? Just when you think you got a mouse and you got a kangaroo, there's no way they're gonna.
Yeah, but it happened.
I mean, mouse is kind of small. I mean, how would they even? I don't know. Anyway, but yes, it happens. Apparently, love knows no bounds.
About if you were to divulge like the how, also there goes the mystery.
Yeah, I mean, the real mystery isn't me, it's everyone else. I mean, if you think about it, it's like I'm the rational one here. I mean, everybody goes, "Hey, well, you tattooed, is your whole body tattooed like that?" And I go, "Well, you wouldn't just paint the front of your house." I'm the one that's rational. They're the one that's crazy. All these people with a sticker or stamp book on them, like, what the heck's that? That's not. This is just the color of my skin. It's not so much a tattoo. You see?
Yeah,
it's just a way to get there. Yeah, well, I mean, but yeah, that's the thing. It's like I think I'm very very rational, but my rationalisms are very kind of over the top, or they're just not ordinary rationalizations, but they are rational to the irrational, I suppose. Yeah. I guess it makes sense to me. So.
Yeah, my first exposure to you before we met some years ago was that episode in X-Files. Right. Season 2. Yes. I think it was the Humbug episode.
Yes, season 2, episode 20.
And you were just starting to get gridded out
with
your
gosh.
puzzle pieces and eating that big fish.
Yeah, well, January '93, I finished all the lines. It was a hard month. I had the idea in '91, and it just took a while to get somebody to do the work. And then, all the way up in 95, we did the X-Files. I was still just all the lines, and there's a lot of skin here. It's a lot of skin. Yeah, it's like painting a bar with a toothpick,
One day with a magic marker.
Yeah, it's just something you do during your lifetime. Some people crochet or knit, but as soon as you get one panel done, you're like, oh, it's faded over there. I got to go back. So, I mean, I've done my face at least 3 times.
I just had an interesting, vision of you being somebody's, Afghan. Just instead of an Afghan, they're tattooing you, and a bunch of little old ladies just tattooing a different piece of you. That's
about right.
Yeah. What are you doing on this Saturday? This cold, chilly Saturday afternoon? We're tattooing Enigma.
Oh, and they'd be like, again?
Well, he fades.
Well,
Yeah, stop putting them in the sun.
There's a lot of skin there. But yeah, it's a lot. So it's just something to do, I mean, it's just a way to make the show that much more interesting. I mean, I still would be doing the show. I'd still be the same animate, crazy performer that I am, but I'm just a blue animated crazy performer instead of like. Yeah.
So when you and I met, like back in 2010, again going back to our friend Jeremy Atkins, we put this together at some dark arts festival, I think. Yeah. It was in Louisville, Kentucky, of all places.
Oh my God! Thanking him once again for that Photoshop version. Anyway.
Yeah. But you and I kind of connected on talking about comic books, and so we did the Show Devils comic book together.
Yes.
And with a number of artists and everything. And I was
that time at Denny's.
Yeah. Oh my God. I
sat there and said, "Hey, why don't you do a comic book of me?" And then you're like,
It was actually an IHOP.
Oh, it was IHOP. Okay.
Yeah, and we went there a couple nights at least, I think. And then it was always like the same wait staff, because I remember they were. I mean, clearly everybody there did cocaine, because we get in there at like 1
not
or
one
2
to
o'clock
judge, but-
in the morning,
Yeah.
and everybody's just like, "Oh my God, how are you? Thank you. How can we help you? We need more powdered sugar.
Yeah.
Not that powdered sugar.
Yeah.
We need to sleep sometime."
Yeah. They're all
So-
vying for tips, I guess.
But there it kind of stemmed, working on the comic book and
Yes.
kind of that mesh, pitching it as kind of like Scooby-Doo meets Devil's Reject, going from gig to gig to gig. And initially we started out with the one comic book, and then it kind of sprawled into a series of little short stories and vignettes with a number of different artists.
Now we're on number 4.
We're on number 4.
You got a copy?
Well, that's
sold out. quick.
what's that one? Well, no, that's Alan's. We'll plug him later.
Okay.
But yeah, doing that, and like it was always fun to say, it's like, yeah, I'm working with Enigma, and for those that weren't familiar with you at the time, show them a picture. It's like, it's great. It's like having your own live action figure, your own personal Hellboy without all the makeup or the prosthetics. I mean, it just shows up. He's always that character. Do you ever think of yourself as some kind of like action figure, or some type of
yeah, I mean, I'm definitely my own avatar.
Yeah.
When you play a video game, you have that little character that runs around on the screen and you control him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm that character of myself here on this screen here, as it were, of real life. So yes, I think that's the way people should play their. Some people do art in their lifetime. Some people live their life as a work of art, and that's what the latter is what I'm trying to get towards. But yes, it's a convoluted path, of course. Life. Yep. I mean.
But it being one less traveled, it certainly seems extraordinary, especially from somebody like myself outside looking in.
Yeah, I mean, Danny Dunn was always looking for the ciphers and the. Remember Danny Dunn?
No, you're gonna have
Danny
to.
Dunn? Nobody?
Yeah.
Danny Dunn. It's a character, and it's like kids' books, anyways.
Oh, okay.
Danny Dunn and the blah blah blah. Danny Dunn and the blah blah blah. Anyway, but Danny Dunn was always like leading these extraordinary adventures, and I knew that doing this would draw more things, more strange resonances and things of possibilities and stuff towards me, which was exciting and engaging. And because the whole you live, you work, you die thing, just okay, so then you might as well already be dead. So then what are you going to do? What can you do that's everything but not that? So and sometimes you just got to give up everything you love to be who you are. And that's kind of like the way I've lived my life. It's a lot of just, it's not so much courage. It's not so much, all that. It's just I'm just indifferent. I don't care. I don't care about the world around me so much as I care about just doing things that aren't so, by the book and so linear. It's just hard for me to do that. It's just hard for me to, I don't know.
Yeah.
I gotta mess things up. I gotta kind of, just do stuff. I gotta do stuff. I can't, I don't know, stuff that I like doing.
Yeah.
That's what I get an A in. I went to school and I got A's for stuff I like, but anything I wasn't interested in, no passion for, then F, because just nothing there for me. So, and I mean, I always wanted to be a biochemist when I was a kid, or probably more like an alchemist. Anyway, and then, grafting wings to humans and stuff. But anyway, invisibility potions and things, because I believed, I grew up once again in that fantasy world, I was taken away from all the children in school, and I read fantasy books and comic books and all that, and that's kind of what made my mind what it is, and to it's something that some kids miss these days, because even the fantasy books, there's things like manners,
Sure.
But at the same time, I lived in a magical world with magical creatures and magical places and all this stuff like that, and so learning and stuff in school and that all the laws of equilibrium is really hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm prepared to take on werewolves and vampires and stuff. So what are we
Right.
doing? What's this Wall Street thing?
Where's
I don't
my
even know what that
silver
is.
bullets?
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
So I just wasn't a kid for all the real stuff. I'm just born of imagination.
Speaking of imagination.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. So since this is more of a horror content, driven show.
Mm-hmm. You want me to show you something horrible? Or what?
No. I've already seen that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we've traveled
Twice.
together. What are your favorite influences? As far as horror goes, I know you've got an affinity for H.P. Lovecraft.
Yes.
But what else?
Yeah, I do love all the slapstick horror of, say, the Evil Deads and stuff. Because growing up, it was like funny monsters, not so much scary monsters.
Yeah.
And I can't watch those films like the cutting of people up.
Torture porn.
I just can't watch it because I've done so much to myself. I can really empathize. I know exactly what that feels like when they slice that open and stuff. So as far as horror goes, I like the art of horror.
Yeah.
More than I have video games. I have Resident Evil and Silent Hill and all this stuff, and I love those games, but I can't play them. So because I'm a joystick, I'm old, so it's,
okay.
I can't play those games at all very well. But I love the art so much, so I end up getting all the manuals and all the guides and stuff like that, and just looking at them and looking, oh, it's so cool, and and I guess I need to start drawing more, but because I can.
But you are a painter.
I do tattoo.
Yeah, you do
and
tattoos.
and so I do a little of this and a little of that. I'm not, once again, it's sitting down and doing actual work. And artist met bum in my family, so it's really weird because. Having all these lessons and stuff like that, and of course, then the grandparents think you're a cream puff, and your uncles and aunts don't. I was. So my brother and I were kind of. I felt like I was picked on as a kid. My brother doesn't because he's too. I don't know. Maybe snobby or whatever. He just considers the source and says everybody's stupid. So me, I was. I could feel all this. My ego is so huge that it's easily, popped, if you will. So, I don't know.
Along the lines of, horror films, like you and I would go to the movie theater and go, catch whatever, popular superhero movie is out that week. Like you and I were talking about the Joker, the Joker movie that just came out.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something a little bit more, dramatic with.
Do you consider
textural.
Bad Boy Bubby a horror movie?
Bad Boy Bubby. I'm trying to think.
If that's a horror movie, I love that movie. It was pretty horrific in its own way. Sometimes
I guess
just
I'm not
watching
familiar.
stuff.
I know the
about
title.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen animation from like the Brothers Quay.
Oh yeah.
Do you consider that horror?
It's
it
got
has
some
an
horrific
element of it.
Yeah,
right?
visuals. Yeah.
Definitely.
So in that respects, horror can be a mode, that fits into other avenues of art, whether it's film or music.
Remember what Bach said was the Siegel writer there wrote in Illusions. If you turn to chapter 8, I think it is, or something. Anyway, so everybody's standing outside of this. He's walking with his friend. And he's like, why do people go to see a horror movie?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, some people don't want a happy ending.
Oh, there you go.
And so in real life, the subconscious, which, the stomach, the fauna and the flora and our body parts and stuff, some people, they may seem like they do, but some people don't want a happy ending. And so that's where we end up,
I
sometimes
think,
guided by it, sometimes fate, sometimes, whatever, the Wheel of Fortune, sometimes just influences around. But yes, and then we end up, in a very strange demise.
But a happy.
but we're happy about it because it's horrifying, because we love not always a happy ending, right? I don't know. So maybe horror films are actually very pleasant.
Well, there you go.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, not to twist
Happy
everything
ending
around, but I'm just trying to make you
for
think,
Happy ending for who? So
Right.
in a number of horrors, especially horror movies that have those iconic characters. So you got like Jason and Michael Myers. They might die at the end of it, but so did their victims, and then they get to come back in the sequel.
Right.
So the happy ending might be there in some subversive way for those characters. Maybe not for the victims, because you don't really get to see them unless you're Sally or Laurie Strode. You don't really get to come back in the sequels.
These characters,
Ash.
Well, these characters, like Jason and Freddy and stuff like that, are they real personas, or are they called forth from some other force?
Right.
Maybe they're not. Maybe they're more like, those liberals, or maybe they're like, those conservatives, or maybe they're like, those. Maybe they're like,
or maybe they're the lions and the tigers in the arena. Which is a natural force.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a monkey in a tree, then maybe the snakes, like that hang in the trees.
Now you're just referencing
the spiders of the pit. Well, or monkeys in the tree. Anyway, but so it's like,
watch out for the flinging poo.
Well, if you
burn if you get in your eye.
Any mammal you put any mammal in a cage, and they're gonna be bored, and they're gonna prefer the cocaine over food, or throw a poo or whatever, because they you take those same mammals and you put them out in like a garage with stuff to do, then they're less interested in all that.
Good sir, that's why we let you out tonight.
I know, right? Day pass.
Yes, we didn't want to take the squeegee
extended.
Well, we do have to clean your cage.
But yeah, so I don't know. So these horrors, these personifications of things, it's kind of interesting, isn't it? I mean, bad luck. I mean, luckily I'm not superstitious. I believe I'm not religious too. I know, right? All these lines.
Yeah,
all these lines.
It's good that you have faith in that.
Yeah, I have faith in those. But yeah, I don't know. I think that these creative embodiments of horror, I think they're amazing, and that's kind of like, I mean, they just came out of the minds of the creators, and that's in my show, these characters that I created, they're already there. I just gave them a hat or a jacket and some lines, and then all of a sudden they are their own thing. So,
do you see them expanding, like either the script expanding or what you're developing the story? Yeah. Obviously, earlier you said that you wanted to kind of lend them out to other platforms, whether it's film or,
they all want to be stars.
Else.
They all want to be stars.
Yeah. They all have their own purpose.
They want their own show, every one of them.
I loved you in the movie Split.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
So many different personalities. So many different personas.
That was so genius. Another, the Joker, Split, Glass, just great.
So kind of the psychological, main character.
When you think, and like, that's the thing is, the brain does a lot of stuff, and it's talking more than you think it is to its internal organs, and the organs are talking. That gut reaction or that feeling you get. A lot of times it's just because you're a sugar lack, or you need some caffeine, or because all the fauna and flora in your stomach do so much decision making for you that you're kind of at the whim of your organs and things. You ever notice that?
Oh yeah.
Where are you going now?
I just noticed that power seems to be depleting from my my laptop, so I'm wondering why I don't have power. Because I've got it plugged in.
Of the,
oh, that's weird.
It's that guy that got electrocuted and then came back. Wasn't he? Remember that movie?
Right. Freddy, what, Shocker?
Yeah, that's right. Didn't Bernie Wrightson do a
great
novel that? Okay, no, I didn't. I just wanted to say his name. It's cool. I know. I'm not really on here.
Nope.
Yup.
Wow, technical problems.
Uh-oh. Do you need...
Well, this thing says I got power.
It says you have power?
There we go.
There it
Oh,
is.
it's a dead plug. That's what it is. All right, now we got juice.
Yes.
Okay, show's back on.
Okay.
Back on.
So yeah, what were we talking about? The geometrical and geophysical possibilities of Snort and Seven Dwarfs? Was that?
Oh yeah. So Alan wrote a comic.
Oh yes, Alan. He is. He's
so we'll give
now
a shameless plug
yeah, he's now
to our friend.
Now, as you can see from the front, that that there's some kind of element there that's trying to get you to buy the comic.
I think it's a signature, right?
I think, and then on the back, another element of that same kind of persuasion, which, you know, definitely, once again, it's not about the stomach per se, maybe it's about the lower stomach. But yes.
And he's
something
going
that can
by,
never be quelled.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our friend who wrote this, it's his first nationally published, comic book. So he wrote a short
Yes.
story for Zenescope, Grim Tales of Terror.
I'll be casting a very aesthetic eye on that book and review it with
Great intent.
iron blue fist.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's dangerous.
I don't know.
So,
Making stuff up.
so
I know
anyway,
life's bad enough as it is about making a pretty more of it. Okay, Douglas Adams. Jeez, get out of my head. What?
yeah, I know. Hey, did you watch the new Child's Play?
What? No,
Right.
is it good?
It's actually good.
Oh,
Yeah, it's surprisingly very fun.
I like the Bride of
Chucky.
Chucky. That was
entertaining.
hilarious.
But Jennifer Tilly's in that. But isn't John Waters in that as well?
What? Really?
Yeah, I think so. Or was it? Well, I know he's in Cult of Chucky, right?
Is he?
But I think he's also in Bride.
I'm not sure.
Anyway,
I'll have to
anything
check
with
his
John
IMDb.
Waters, I will absolutely check out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because
He's fun. He's very insightful.
Yeah.
But even when he's just playing a character, and it's a really only kitsch.
Oh right.
Yeah.
When he plays a character, it's good.
Yeah. He kind of reminds me of you.
Wasn't he on The Simpsons?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
The early seasons too.
What's that? When he was taking the kid to the.
Was it like season 4? I think.
I don't know.
No, he was working at that kitsch Americana type
Yeah,
store.
I think that
A
was
bunch
him,
of
right?
knickknacks. And
Yeah, I think that's. No,
I can't remember what exactly happened. I want to say
his brother.
No, I wanted to say like John. I wanted to say that Starbucks
Jimmy Waters.
bought out his store in that episode of The Simpsons.
Did they?
I think so, probably,
Oh.
because it was in a mall. So I think
Well, if
that
you're
was the
paying the
thing.
Starbucks, then I guess anything's possible.
Yeah, that sounds wet.
Soaking. No. Yes, we are here for questions. If you have, we have answers. We don't mind the questions if you don't mind the answers.
Yeah, so it looks like we have a spectacular one viewer. So feel free to ask us a
Yes.
question. But we'll go to Jeannie now. She has
You can say,
no questions.
Why is there air? And we say,
Yeah.
well, obviously to fill up basketballs and balloons and stuff like that.
So Enigma, what other project are you working on other than Sideshow right now?
Oh, well, yeah. Right now, there's a number of banners that I need to finish, and then my music album, which and my autobiography too.
Are you actually?
I have
you're
names
writing?
for all these things. Yes, I do have a
Nice.
title for my album. It's called Other.
Oh,
So if you want to get the Enigma's Other album,
is it on?
I can sell that to you. If you want my other album, I can sell that to you. It's easy. And then.
But you
And
are pretty heavy at producing music. Like you're always in the studio whenever I talk to you.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get in the studio all the time. It's hard because I travel and such, but I try to. I'll be making my way down. I just called. I'm over at right now at Royal Recordings over there in the Springs,
Okay.
Colorado Springs, and he's doing an amazing job with my stuff, and I want to finish that up. But my autobiography is called "Need to Tell You," You know, so when people ask me questions, I say, well, hey, do you want me to tell you? Because it's $20. And then
Then you just give them the autobiography.
It's you want that hardback, it's 40. But, you know.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, so I've got the title, Need to Tell You, and Other, to be produced, hopefully coming up soon, as soon as I can get it done. This year I'll probably spend trying to finish the album and write the book, and also all these banners. And so I do all this, you know. If you're not the lead dog, you're just, you know, you're looking up some other dogs. Anyway, you're behind another dog. Anyway, and so, you know, so you got to be the leader, and you got to do everything in your field. Otherwise, otherwise you have to change jobs because you get bored. You know, I mean, come on.
So it requires a certain level of discipline, because you're the only one that you have to self motivate. Oh
yes, well, your cup has to be flowing with passion.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to believe this stuff. You know, if you cut me open, the Enigma bleeds out. You know, this is what I do.
We call it
my
blood,
art form.
okay.
Yeah, most people do, but not me. You know, nope. Overwhelmed with passion and fire and fury and madness. And I know it's that anger. It's just so good. It's like, you know, the evil Jedi guys. Yeah, I love those guys. They're good. You know, they so much love in the world. The Sith guys, they're great because it's about passion, and that's what pushes you farther beyond just sometimes a steady hand. You know, however it takes you to get there, great. You know, everybody's different. Everybody has their own path, and that they choose or they're forced into, and
they're backed up into the wall.
Mine is, it's just that seething hatred that I love so much. You know? I just love it. It's so good. It's like, you know, like when you're in bed and you're like in love and you're just like, oh, you know, and nothing gets done. But then, oh, wait, the garbage man, did he take the trash? You missed, oh, now you've got this anger, this thing, and you're going to go do something about it. Yes, we're going to do something now. And that's that drive that I must create. I must make this thing happen. The ego and the
just like that time when you were staying at my house and you missed the garbage man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, thanks for taking out the trash.
Exactly. It's kind of like the Hulk, you know. He's like he's always angry, but you know But
you leave things nice and neat. So
thanks
for cleaning up after yourself.
Yeah, it's only my anger and passion that makes it so neat, nice and neat.
Oh, okay.
Of course. Yeah. That's what does that. It's that desire that you know, it's for me it's murder. It's military service. It's like it's war. This is war, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is real life. This is war. I mean, my art, you know, like a lot of artists, same thing. It's war, man. You gotta be ready to give up everything and go for it. And if you can't hold back, because otherwise, you know, who cares? If you're not completely engulfed in the fires of your passion, nobody will even see the flame at all, you know? So that's why you just gotta completely give yourself up completely to whatever it is you're passionate about that you're doing. Don't let reality stand in your way. You know, people like, oh, I can't do that. It's like, you know what? Can't means won't, you know? And it's just one little step at a time, right? Remember Mr. Winter. And it's like, you put one step in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking. A choo-choo. Anyway, yes.
That certainly, something
you remember that?
For anybody.
No, it's the Rudolph the
red-nosed reindeer. Yeah.
Drinking too much that day.
That's certainly something motivational for anybody who's interested in performing, let alone doing sideshow.
Yes.
Any artist.
But also, you know, my anxiety is not the anxiety that makes me lay in bed and do nothing. Yeah. My anxiety pushes me forward.
It's not crippling.
No, it's the opposite. It's like it's
motivating.
The fight or flight thing.
Yeah.
My anxiety makes me more outgoing, more clownish, more trying to entertain everybody or anything that's in the room. Just because because instead of that shyness being like something that holds me back and keeps me quiet, no, instead I go and do stupid things, and then you just got to recover from it, you know. So I'll put my foot in my mouth all the time. no problem there.
No, I noticed that. Yeah. I've had to help you take it out.
All right, yeah. So
Today.
the leather's still a little soaked, but but yeah, that's it. It's like that anxiety pushes me out instead of holds me back. So that's a different. A lot of people have that holds them back. For me, I just get wound up and so tight, and then it just snaps. And I just got to go and do something. I got to make something. It's enough sitting around pacing like a caged tiger. I just got to get out of the cage and go eat a lamb or something. I don't know. It's just poetic.
So speaking of passion and projects,
yes,
you've been popping up in a couple films from time to time here. A couple weeks ago, we shot an episode of Camp Crash.
Yes, Camp Crash. Yeah. That's an amazing thing.
Yeah, that was.
And that's kind of horrifying.
Well,
it's like horror in a way.
Yeah, it's very
Have you guys seen Camp Crash? Oh yeah, Camp Crash. Oh.
Yeah, it's dystopian summer camp.
Very disturbing.
Where he's one of the camp counselors.
Yes, I put into that.
Yeah. So we're working on that. We're editing that. But you were also in Motel London 3.
Oh yeah, Motel London 3, another
with our friend
wonderful
Ryan.
Denver production.
Yeah.
Ryan's amazing, and his pinballs are even more amazing. But he's so advanced, and his work is just, a lot of people don't get it because it's so over the top and out there, and I hope that one day the world gets his art. It's just so, I think some people do, but like it's amazing, and like yours, Camp Crash, same thing. It's so, I don't know, esoteric, and yet but it's very American. Both his work and your work, very American kind of thing, and I appreciate that. I don't know for its kind of raw gusto, I guess. Yeah, is that right?
It's a bit of an absurdist piece,
but raw gusto.
Yeah, yeah. It's it's the marriage of like two genres that I really liked.
Right.
Two
Apple
films.
Apple pen.
Right. There's that Apple and pen. More accurately, Mad Max meets Meatballs.
Right.
I always thought Bill Murray would play an excellent Max.
Oh yeah, no.
That wandering goofball samurai that just kind of happens upon adventure.
He does some kind of off the wall movies. Maybe.
Very much so.
He did.
Check out The Dead Don't Die, the Jim Jarmusch zombie film that just came out.
And then another one, Zombieland 2.
Oh yeah, where he cameos at. Well, he's in the first one. He's supposed to be in the second one too.
Yeah.
And that comes out Friday. You want to go catch a movie this weekend?
Well, not this weekend. Working. But...
Well, what you open Sunday? You work Sunday?
And then Monday's pumpkin carving, and then Tuesday we're doing something, right? No.
The week after that, we're having lunch with.
Oh, that's right. With Ryan.
The filmmaker we were just talking
about.
It's
going to be like 2 filmmakers and 1 crazy guy.
Yeah, you're going to be the same one in the world. How do you feel about that?
Right? That's weird.
That is strange. It's going to be obnoxious.
Yes.
So it looks like we're going to have to wrap up. I want to say thanks, for coming on and talking about all the fun things that you do and some of your influences and stuff. But one last plug, where can people find you online, and where are you going to be for the rest of the month?
Okay, yes. I will be at, for the rest of the month, I will be at Elitch Gardens Fright Fest, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I'll be doing 4 shows tonight, starting at 6 p.m. on until the close. And you definitely want to catch the characters as they come out. Hellbilly Bill, definitely. The Sith Lord and the Wizard. And then, of course, and that's till the 2nd of November. And then, the enigmalive.com. Also on Instagram. So you can check that out. And then, I think that's about it. I mean, you can follow the bouncing ball around the country on my tour dates schedule. So that's pretty easy enough. I mean, and then, my phone number's right there. I don't know. If you have any questions, I have answers. Hopefully there are answers about how much I need for the budget of the movie that you're making. And then, one would hope. That's it. How about you, Dan?
Well, thanks, Enigma. the fun projects I'm going to be doing. This is the first interview of the Halloween season, and tomorrow I've got another one. Next week I've got at least 2, and I think I might have a 5th one lined up someplace. I can't remember where, but tomorrow's with the Broadway Halloween parade organizers.
What?
So yeah, so I'll be meeting with them tomorrow at Wizard's Chest, just down the street.
Like smart people and stuff.
Probably way smarter than definitely smarter than me, because I'm a fucking brain.
Yeah,
yeah, pretty much. But,
that's awesome. That's all. People who can do numbers and budget and stuff. It's good.
Yeah, anybody who can operate a spreadsheet is well beyond me.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks so much, Enigma. Appreciate you coming on. Let's. And thanks for watching.
You guys have any questions?
To our guests.
No. Sorry.
That's all right. We'll just take it out of your pay soon on the next check. So.
I'm Dan Crosier. This is COFOH Live Undead. And for all those out there, visit cofohhorror.com. We'll be uploading our new website here, pretty soon. And getting ready for our first year show next September 11th through the 13th of 2020.
Dang.
Yes. So we're getting excited for that. We're leading up to that. Follow us on Facebook. If you're watching us on Facebook, you already know to follow us on Facebook. So anyway, thanks again, and thanks to Mutiny Cafe and Jim and Matt and Neil up there. And have a good night. Ooh.